Hi, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore, and I am here to tell you let's get some grant money, but yet let's stay out of jail. Do you know that if you misappropriate grant money, you can go to jail? Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, you can go to jail. So, in my YouTube studio, I have various information on grants and how to stay out of jail. So, on today, I want to talk to you about how to get grant ready, how to get ready for grants. You know, if you follow a previous video that I did, I explained what is grant money. Grant money is free money you don't have to pay back. And what can you do with grant money? If you're a nonprofit, you can service the community. You could do youth programs like after school, or you could do community projects like food distribution, open up a community closet, where people can come in and get clothes that need clothes. Maybe they need getting ready to go on an interview, but they don't have nothing decent. You want to pass out personal hygiene products to help them and getting ready for the interview or just to feel better. They've been homeless, they've been on the street for a while, and they don't have the smell goods, the stuff that they need to feel human again. Okay. Also, you can do senior program, have a senior daycare or a daycare for children. It's so much money out there to help you with that you could so much grant money where you can do program, provide services. What's really popular these days is the community gardens. You can get some grant money to set up community garden. So I told you in a previous video what is a grant. It is money that you do not have to pay back. I told you to be careful and listen when people want to throw the word funding around, and underneath it, the undertone is a loan for you to pay back. I told you about that. I told you the only loan you should embrace is a forgivable loan and read the details in the fine print, which means if you meet certain criteria, you submit your document, you meet the deadline, that forgivable loan will be converted into a grant and you won't have to pay back. But if you're missing in documentation and if you miss the deadline, and I told you to watch out for the time zone, you know, then you're going to have to pay it back. So I mentioned that. So now on this video, I'm going to talk about how to get grant ready. Okay. And I briefly mentioned, and I'll mention it in this video, in order to receive grants, you either have to have a non-for-profit or a for-profit. Somebody might say, no, Dr. Moore, I got a grant. I got the IHEAP grant. That's that CETA grant that covers your energy bill. Yeah, but you got it through a nonprofit. Now, there are grants. You're like, oh, no, Dr. Moore, my rent was paid for. Yes, but you had to go through an organization. You had to go through the city or a non-for-profit or some type of advocacy facility and fill out a stack of papers and turn it in. That's how you got that grant. So other than that, it's either or. You need to set up a non-for-profit or a for-profit. One or the other, there's no in between. So once you have decided which one you're going to do, then you start setting up. Now, if you want to set up a non-for-profit, there's some things that you need to know. Number one, it is not uh it is not to be treated or operated like a for-profit. Number two, it does not belong to you. A non-for-profit belong to the people of the state that the non-for-profit in. Number three, non-profit cannot be inherited. But people do it all the time, especially in these churches. Daddy died, Junior done been out drunk as a skunk. Not all the time. They go get Junior and watch him up, straighten him up, and throw him in the pastorship because he's expected to take daddy place. No, non-for-profit is supposed to have board. The board govern the non-profit, not no one person. In the circular, we have to learn how to render unto God the thing that is God, and render unto Caesar the thing that is Caesar. So non-profit do not belong to anybody. They cannot be passed down. They cannot be inherited. I'm aware of a person that even posted on Facebook. And I hear people say, well, I took over my daddy company. If the IRS get a whim of that, they will shut you down. Why? Because the non-for-profit belongs to the state. It does not belong to an individual. It don't belong to children. It do not belong to family members. It belongs to the people, the community in which the non-for-profit is found. So now that we got that out of the way, so what's next? So you got to decide what type of nonprofit you want to be. Who your target population. You want to take care of children, women and children. You want to provide youth services to the youth. You want to take care of the homeless, the disadvantaged, the underserved. And a lot of people come up under. Are you just looking at veterans? Are you looking for all men? Are you looking to take care of victims of domestic violence? Do you want to provide training, help people get jobs or set up business? Do you want to provide educational services where you want to teach people, maybe teach people financial literacy or a trade? Okay, you got to decide what type of nonprofit. Then once you make that determination of what type of nonprofit you're going to be, are you going to be charitable? Are you going to be educational, or are you a religious? And then there's other categories. Now you got to pick your category. What category do you fall up under? Charitable, educational, okay, religious, then they got scientific, and then there's a few others. But the ones that I've been blessed to help for 20 years, we'll be celebrating 20 years Sunday, December 8th, 2024 of this year. We've been around since December 2004. Have been the ones that I have assisted in getting the 501c3 uh, have been charitable, educational, and religious. Okay. So there's some people that want to do good for the community, but they don't want the church atmosphere. They don't want to be a church. They just want to do good. They just want to do charity work. Okay. So then educational, you just want to train some people, help people with resumes and job interview, teacher trade, teacher skill to some people. Then religious, we know would be the churches and ministry. Now, according to Internal Revenue Service, there is a difference between a church and a ministry. So you need to contact me to find out, and you have to determine what you're going to be, a church or ministry. So now that you got to be either a nonprofit or a for-profit, then you got to know what kind of services you need to provide. You got to know if you're going to be charitable, educational, religious. Okay, those are the most common and the ones I deal with and people I help. And then you got to know your category and the services, food, community garden. What do you want to do? All right, then one thing you need to know, having a 501c3 is not mandatory, but it is a catch 22 situation. Let me explain it. You do not need the 501c3 to operate as a nonprofit. You need recognition from the state from which the nonprofit is from which the nonprofit resides in, and that's it. You good to go. In some cases, that might only cost you $50 to incorporate, to get your what is called an article of incorporation. But uh, there are filing. You have to do tax filing for the nonprofit every year. Okay, and if the income that comes into the nonprofit is more than is $600 or more, taxes have to be paid. Federal and state taxes will have to be paid. So then also there are people out there that looking to do donations, especially private contributors, also known as donors. And at the end of the year, they're going to want what is called a contribution letter. And they want to take the contribution letter to their CPA or their accountant, and then taking their contribution letter to the CPA or accountant or your tax preparer, you know, then you want to submit that letter of contribution along with your tax filing so that you can get a tax write-off. I'm letting you know, if you do not have that 501c3, you cannot issue contribution letters. And if you are unable to issue contribution letter, more than likely people are not going to want to donate, to give you a donation. So that's what I mean by it is a catch 22. And if you have $600 or more coming in that year into the nonprofit, then you will be responsible for paying federal and state taxes. So why not just go ahead and get the 501c3? I've been blessed to be a 501c3 specialist since 2004. And I've been blessed to have a 100% success rate where my clients got their 501c3. I have experienced horror stories where clients had contacted me. They had went to attorneys, lawyers, and paid them big bucks so that they could get their 501c3, and they never got it. Why? Because the attorney didn't know how to do it, or the attorney submitted the paperwork and it was denied. It was denied. Now, if you are going to use an attorney or a CPA or an accountant, I am a business consultant. My disclaimer is I am not a lawyer. I am not a CPA. I am not an accountant. I am a business consultant. You got to make sure that whoever service you have a non-for-profit background. It's not enough. Oh, they're a lawyer. Do they specialize in non-for-profit startup? That's what you got to look at. And the market rate go anywhere from $12.50 and up. I have had people that paid lawyers $4,200 and walked away and did not get the 501c3. They got the runaround. Calls was not returned when they left messages, and they were without a 501c3. Right now, I charge $850 for the 501c3. You can reach out to me either through my website, you can call me, text me, email me about how do I get a 501c3. I need you to help me get the 501c3 status. The last time I checked the statistic, the Internal Revenue Service received 1 billion applications for the 501c3, and guess how many are granted? Only 500,000. So it's not a breeze. There's certain language you must be familiar with. It's not I go do it myself and then you go do it yourself and get denied, or if you happen to get approved and you don't have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed and your duck in a row, then you end up with a penalty or under investigation with the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, we're talking about how to get grant ready. In order to get ready for a grant, you got to decide if you're going to start a nonprofit or you're going to start a business. Okay, you got nonprofit, you got to be incorporated. And you got to have that 501c3. And there's other things that you need that will take me a day and an hour to explain to you. It's a lot of work. It's not a breeze. It's a 6-step process to get that 501c3. All right. So now, if you say, oh, no, I don't want that, then now we're looking at you being a for-profit. You have to decide if you want to be a corporation, a LLC, a S corp, a C corp, general partnership, limited partnership. You got to decide and setting up a business. Then you got to decide what type of business that you want. All right. So then you got to make your contact with the Secretary of State. And in some cases, you have to contact the clerk of the county and get your paperwork together. You decide what type of business you want. And then you have to get a business license. And then whatever else your city, state, and county requires for you to operate as a business, you got to fulfill that. All right. Now we were just talking about setting up. Now let's talk about how to get ready for the grants. Now, once you are set up, then whether you are non-for-profit or a for-profit, then you need to have a website. Ain't no getting around it. These funders want you to have a website, whether you're a non-for-profit or a for-profit. You got to have a website in the name of your nonprofit or for-profit. You got to have an email in the name of the nonprofit or for-profit. Okay, you have to have a bank account in the name of the nonprofit or for-profit. Do not use your personal business account. Do not use Cash App. Do not use Stripe. Do not use Zelle. Okay, they want you to have a bank account with a major financial institute. You could go to Bank of America, Chase, Fifth Third, BMO Harris, so on and so forth. Stay away. I know what's popular is online banking. Funders are leery. They want you to have a major financial institute. Not to say that you can't have the online banking, those branches that they don't have a brick and mortar. You take care of everything online. You can still do it, but in terms of being able to receive grant money, they want you with a major financial institute. Okay. Now, there was a time where once you was funded, they would mail you checks. They have gotten away from that. Funders will now deposit your grant award into your checking account, your bank account. So make sure you have a bank account in the name of the business or the non-for-profit. Also, they want you to have a social media presence. And so far, the major ones they've been asking about is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, formerly known as Twitter. A few are asking for TikTok. A few are asking for Snapchat. I'll say do them all. Just be ready. Okay. Um, then there are links. They want you to post the link, to be able to post the link when you do a grant workshop. Now, I want to take a pause to let you know I am Dr. Eurydice Moore of Eurydice. We are a consulting firm. We have the MBE, WBE certification, as well as the BEP, the DBE, and the WOSB. We have all those certifications, and we are eligible to and certified to do government contracting. So, so just wanted to throw that out there. I have a history and others that I work with of doing 501c3. We have a 100% success rate, and we also do grants. So this workshop is this video is how to get grant ready. So those are some of the things you need to have placed in order to get grant ready. And did you know that funders, the trend now is that many of them want videos, either 30-second, they'll let you know, 30-second or 1 minute, 2 minute, or 3 minute videos. I suggest you do all of them. Have 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute videos. And follow instruction. When they say 30-second, you can't do 31-second. Because guess what? If they see that video is 31-second or 32-second, they won't view it. Okay, if they say 1 minute, they mean 1 minute. Okay, it's okay to be 58-second or 59-second, but 101 minute, 1 minute and 2 second or 1 second, they will not look at it. So that is also good for you to have a resume, a biography, and also it would be good for you to have resume of your key staff people. Now, I teach an online grant workshop that has been funded by Walmart, and we already had 2 sessions. Uh, One session was in March, other session in June. We have another session coming up in August, and it is filling quickly. We are not even in the month of July, and I have 31. I have seating for 100. We're not even in July, so I'm looking for that session to be closed by the mid part of July. So, if you want to know how to get you see my contact information, my name, my website, email, phone number. You can text requesting the link to get into the August 18th. These sections fill up very quickly, and it's funded once again by Walmart. Okay, so let's see other things that you need to know to get grant ready. Okay, know how much you need, whether you're a non-for-profit or for-profit, and what is the money needed for. What are you going to allocate the funds towards? And then whatever you tell the funders that you're going to do with the money, make sure you do so. If you change in midair after getting the grant and you decide and you do not have permission to use the money for other things. You didn't make notification that something came up, you need to use the money for blah, 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 and you were not granted permission, then you have now entered into misappropriation of funds. So get ready to go to jail and do some time. Okay, funders have recourse. They can ask you for the money back. They can sue you in court, or you can be arrested. People have gone to jail over grant money. So don't do it. So you got to have a plan. What are you going to use the money for? You need to have a budget and decide how you're going to use the grant money within your budget. And make sure you have your document, because when it comes time to fill out a grant application, which I am covering, there will be a section for you to upload. Also, you need a plan. What do you plan to do once you are ready to receive the grant? How do you plan to give back? How do you plan to pay it forward? How do you plan to serve the community, whether you're a nonprofit or a for-profit? I know I have shared a lot of information with you, but I'm trying to help you stay out of jail. Do not go to jail over grant money. This is why I am here. I am Dr. Eurydice Moore. And if you like this video, please like it, share it, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can look at all the other videos that are available to you to view. And I'm signing off right now. And please catch the videos so you can stay out of jail. God bless.